Travis kiddos, let's go over the math essential work for the week. I'll start with the textbook pages and then go over the workbook pages. So this week we are going to introduce money. Now this is not technically a first grade standard, but it's great to get ready for second grade, and we've already started to work on these skills, so it should be mostly review and a little bit of a different way to look at money. Okay, so here you can check out the first page and find anything that you see here. So the question asks, how many pennies do I need to buy one cat keychain and one pencil? So see if you can figure that out, and you can discuss anything else on that first picture in the introduction. Then you can recall prior knowledge, knowing what a penny, a nickel, a dime, and a quarter looks like, and what the values are. So a penny is worth 1 cent, a nickel is worth 5 cents, a dime 10 cents, and a quarter 25 cents. These are all the backs of each piece of money, and then here it shows you the heads and tails, or the two different sides of the coin. Okay, you can talk about how many cents each thing is and how many pennies it would be to buy each thing. And then there's a little bit of more review here. So name each coin and find the price. Okay. Lesson 1 goes over penny, nickel, and dime. So we're going to look at these vocabulary words: cents, nickel, value, penny, dime, and exchange. So you can read through each of these things, and you can read through and complete. You're going to have to either do it verbally or write it down on a separate piece of paper, because we can't write in on the textbook pages here. But go ahead and fill in. A nickel has a value of blank. So what is a nickel worth? How many cents? That's the cent sign. A dime has a value of blank. A penny has a value of blank. Here you get to count up how many of each type of money. If you want to get really tricky, you could count up how much the value of all of this is in pennies, nickels, dimes, and all together. That would be a great extension activity. And here we are learning to skip count in order to figure out how much money there is, or the value of the coins. So 4 cents. Pennies, since they're worth 1 cent, you count by ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 cents. Since nickels are worth 5 cents each, you can count by fives. 5, 10, 15, so 15 cents. Since dimes are worth 10 cents each, you can count by tens. 10, 20, 30, so there are 30 cents. Okay, then here's some extra practice for you, counting by whatever the value of the coin is. So skip counting or regular counting and figuring out what the value of all those coins are. Then you can also skip count and figure out the value starting with the biggest coins and working your way to smaller coins. So if you start with nickels and work to pennies, 5, 10, 15, 16, 17 cents. Or here, 10, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. You check out the rest on your own. I don't want to do it all for you. Okay? And we've also worked on exchanging money that is of equal value. So it has to be a fair trade or an equal exchange, right? So a nickel is worth 5 cents. A penny is worth 5 cents. You could trade 1 nickel for 5 pennies, or you could trade 5 pennies for 1 nickel. Same thing, a dime is worth 10 cents, and 2 nickels are worth 10 cents together, 5 and 5. So you could trade a dime for 2 nickels, or 2 nickels for a dime. Okay, and you can figure out what you need to exchange here. And go ahead through the different types of money and how you would pay for those things, and continue here. You can answer the questions to practice here, and here you are just doing the same thing, so finding the price based on the value of the money they show you. If you would like to do the equivalent or add to this, you can do the workbook pages 217 to 222. So I'll show you that. Then we have the quarter. We're going to do lesson 2 this week as well. So looking at the quarter, this is the front of a quarter and the back of a quarter. The backs of the quarters, there are all different kinds of backs to it. So knowing the front and the size of the coin is a little bit more helpful than memorizing the back. Here it shows you a couple of ways you can exchange a quarter for other coins for the same value. And here you're going to find even more ways that you could exchange a quarter for different amounts of money, or amounts of coin. It's going to be the same amount of money altogether, but the different coins that you could exchange. And here are some questions just to continue with the quarter, and then workbook pages 223 to 226. That is our textbook work for this week. If you want to go onto the workbook pages for this week, I would recommend starting with the cumulative review of chapters 16 and 17 first. So chapter 16 was numbers to 100, 120, and chapter 17 was addition and subtraction within 100. So this is a really good review for you. You can check it out. Just has a lot of practice with those numbers, adding, subtracting patterns, all of that, regrouping, word problems. Excellent practice there, okay? So my recommendation would be to start with that. If you want to come back to it later, that's also an option. But that's our core curriculum for the school year, and so important to focus on that. Money is extra. It gets us ready for second grade, but it's not technically required for first grade. So it's a fun chapter to do, but not required like the addition and subtraction are. So if you've already checked out the textbook pages and you want to look at the workbook pages, here they are. So here we have some matching. Really good to go over the textbook pages first because they're in color and they really explain all of this. This is not in color, so you have to really know the coins in order to do it. You can get out some real coins to match and figure it out too. That'll be some fun practice using some real actual pieces. So here you're going to write the value of each coin and then what it's called down at the bottom. And here you're going to fill in the blanks for the nickels, dimes, and pennies shown above. Okay? And here you're going to practice the skip counting like you had in the textbook. And then you're going to solve some riddles, which is fun. Okay? And then there are some finding different ways to create that value. So you could use different coins. You could find more than one solution, of course, if you'd like. And then practice 2 is all about the quarter. So you could talk about how many coins you could exchange for it and for each item. And then showing the same thing, just circling the coins you would exchange to get this amount. Okay, here you are going to show 5 different ways to pay for that cat keychain. Okay, we've seen this, right? So different ways that you can come up with 25 cents. I know you can find 5 different ways. Very, very clever. Here you're going to circle which coin they are asking you about and then fill in the blanks at the bottom. Okay, I will go through those pages a little bit more in depth through the week, but those are either an equivalent option or extra if you'd like to do them. So either the textbook or workbook or both. Have fun with it and happy learning.